Hi, I'm Antonio, and today we're going to be talking about men's dress shirts. In particular, we're going to be talking about men's dress shirt fabrics. All right, this is brought to you by Real Men Real Style. It's the website I founded in which we've got lots of information and articles, videos, podcasts, all concerning men's style and how to dress sharp. So make sure to go visit us. But first things first, have you subscribed to our YouTube channel? If you haven't, make sure to do this, and you want to do that so that you don't miss a video. We're going to be putting out a lot of videos over the next year, and I don't want you to miss any. In addition, if you enjoy what you learn here and you want to follow up, you want to learn more, make sure to visit the support article. We link to them down below in most of our videos, and this is just more solid content so that you can learn and dress sharp. All right, dress shirt fabrics. So let's jump into this. Solids, the most common fabrics on the planet. And as you can see here, I've got white, top left-hand corner, dark blue, top right, light blue, bottom right, lavender over here, bottom left. Solid fabrics are what you're going to see on most dress shirts, and there's a reason for that. Solid fabrics are incredibly easy to match, and they are the most formal. So a white shirt, incredibly versatile. You can wear that with black tie if it's the right style, or you could wear that with a pair of jeans. So very wide range of clothing that can be worn with it. In addition, they can match almost anything. So this light blue over here in the bottom right hand corner, this will go with a charcoal gray suit. This will go with a pair of raw denim. This will go with, gosh, you could wear it with even a pair of shorts, assuming that you got the style right. Now, once we start getting into darker solid colors, the formality of the shirt falls. So dark maroons, this dark blue, all of a sudden the shirt is no longer as versatile. It becomes more of a casual wear color. Lavender, this is something that's really underutilized, and I put it there because it is a great choice and one that, because of its light shade, it's still a very versatile fabric. All right, semi-solids, the most underutilized fabrics in a man's wardrobe, if he even has them. And you'll see that we've got a couple herringbones here. I've got herringbone up here to the left, actually two herringbones here to the left. Now, over here to the right, we've got a more complicated pattern. It's a Glen Check. And this is something, what I love about these semi-solids is from a distance, they're going to look solid. And so they have the same versatility of the solids, but when you get up close, you can see the pattern. This white here in the bottom right-hand corner, most of you won't be able to see that it does have a check pattern. And unless you're viewing this in HQ, you probably don't actually see that. So going from semi-solids to now stripe patterns. So this is very clear that there is a pattern to this. Now, the vertical stripe, and you don't see them going across, because the reason you see a vertical stripe often on a shirt is it gives the illusion of slimming the figure. So this shirt, if it's cut right and it fits a man well, will usually make a man look a bit thinner. In addition, it helps the color bleed into the trousers. And why that's important, because it gives you a monochromatic look. So these two bottom blue shirts, you could easily wear these with a nice pair of blue jeans, some raw denim, or a pair of dark slacks, and it's going to look good. If you wear this one over here in the top left, it'll still look fine, but there'll be more contrast between the top and the bottom because white is the dominant color up here. But the great thing about white being the dominant color up here in this top left-hand corner one is it's going to be a bit more versatile. You could actually wear this shirt in a business setting. These bottom two you could, but they're going to be more casual. Now, over here to the top right, this gets a bit more complicated. So if you look at this shirt, it's got actually 5 colors in it. So we've got the light blue, a medium blue, we've got a very dark blue, and then we've got, it looks like an orange brown. And look at the difference. We've got thin stripes, we've got wider blue stripes, then we've got a complicated pattern actually in the white, in which we see a very, looks like a honeycomb weave. So because of the complexity of this fabric, I would be hesitant if you're in finance in New York to wear this shirt. However, if you're working over at Google, you're working over down, at in a creative field down in Los Angeles, you're down in Austin, Texas, this would be a great fabric to pull off in any but the most formal of occasions. It's really going to stand out and be a unique pattern. check patterns. These are the least formal of all of the patterns that we've talked about. Over here to the top right, this would be something that you could wear in a business environment. It's simple, only 2 colors, white dominates. Bottom left-hand corner, we can see that the blue dominates. And these 2 bottom fabrics would actually be fine to wear if you're going to be wearing the shirt by itself without a jacket. Over here to the top right, unless you're wearing a light pair of trousers, you're going to have too much contrast and it's going to look best with a jacket. Over here to the left, because we've introduced the color red, all of a sudden this becomes a bit less formal, and because mixed with the complexity of the pattern, I'm going to say that this one is, you wouldn't really want to wear this with a suit. You could if you're not wearing a tie with it and if you're in a very informal environment, but I think overall this would actually look great again with just a pair of trousers. And the reason being is because of that red, it's going to be a fabric that you don't see very often, and it's going to help you stand out. Quickly, let's talk about weaves. And so imagine these are individual yarns in a fabric. If you go north and south, that's the warp, up and down. Across from left to right, we see the weft. And how these are woven together depends on not only the strength of the fabric, but usually some of the patterns we'll see in it as well. So these are the 4 most common shirt fabrics. Actually, I take that back. The pile weave you rarely ever see in a shirt fabric, but the twill, the satin, and the plain, particularly the twill and the plain, are going to be in 90% of dress shirts. The plain is something you see all the time, very simple. As you can see, the warp goes right over the weft, 1, 2, 1, 2. The twill is a bit more complicated. And what's interesting about the twill is you actually get a denser weave. Now the twill, if you remember, that's going to be herringbone fabrics, and it does create a very unique pattern. I really like twills because they're usually stronger. They're a little bit more heavier weight. Satin, now this is where you're going to get a bit of a shine. As you can see, the warp and the weft, there's not a 1, 2, there is a jumps over 4 different yarns here, and this is going to give you a bit of shine in the fabric. Now quickly, the pile weave, this is going to give a fabric kind of a 3-dimensional feel, a very textured, heavy feel. So if you think about a corduroy, that's an example of a pile weave. All right, well that is men's dress shirt fabrics in a nutshell. This has been Antonio Centeno with Real Men Real Style. I hope to see you at our website. Take care. Bye-bye.